Hey there friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I'm back with a new layout for Hip Kit Club and I'm using the 2019 June kits again. And so I pulled out some papers that sort of jumped out at me for this layout, and this paper is going to be my background. This is from Heidi Swapp Color Fresh, and I think this is beautiful and I cannot wait to use it as a background. I picked out a couple other sheets. This is from Vicki Boutin. This sheet here is Simple Stories. I really love those peachy hibiscus flowers. And then I'm going to also try to incorporate this aqua pattern paper from the Vicki Boutin Color Kaleidoscope. And some of these papers I've already cut into, but I'm trying to, not use white as a background so much. I get a lot of comments from a lot of people saying, yay, I'm glad you didn't use white. And I love using white, don't get me wrong, but I also love to challenge myself to use pattern paper or cardstock that are, different colors. So I don't even have a photo yet. I just know that I want to fussy cut some stuff. And so I'm going to start with these hibiscus flowers on this pattern paper. I'm going to cut out a couple of those, and then off camera I just kept fussy cutting. Fussy cutting's boring to watch, so I didn't film all of that, but I'm going to fussy cut, let's see, I've already got it done here, from some Pocket Life cards, this Relax and the June piece, because I'm going to scrap this color photo of my daughter. This is actually a very recent photo, which is rare for me. I hardly ever scrap recent photos of my kids because I have got so many from the past decade, and I feel like I'll never get them all scrapped. But this one's pretty recent and I loved it, and I thought it matched perfectly with the whole theme that I want to go for. So I thought I would just start ripping and tearing some paper, and I wanted to incorporate that aqua paper onto my background some way. So I just tore a wonky strip of it, and I'm gonna stick it down right here where these two pinks meet and kind of just make that part of my background. And now I'm going to do some mixed media since I've got that paper already down there, and I'm going to use white gesso here to start. I'm just going to smudge some down kind of where my picture is going to go. And I did kind of go back and forth about whether or not I wanted to use this background paper as a horizontal design or a vertical design, and I finally decided to go with a horizontal. So this is just playing around here. I've got some of the Vicki Boutin die cuts, those big beautiful flowers. I fussy cut that bird from one of the cut apart sheets, or the cut apart sheet from Vicki Boutin. And I just decided to kind of make this a tropical themed layout, because when I think of hibiscus flowers, I think of tropics and summer. And I'm not even sure what the Vicki Boutin flowers are, but the colors just scream tropical to me, so I'm gonna go with it. And then I went through the Heidi Swapp sticker book, which is amazing, and if you have it, that a lot of those stickers are kind of like vellum. And so that Weekend Vibes sticker, I wanted to use it as part of my title, but I wanted to kind of make it not a sticker, so I just went ahead and stuck it to another piece of vellum and cut it out, and so now I can kind of move it around. Okay, so here comes all the wet stuff. I'm going to use a couple of different things. This yellow color here, all these powders here are from Lindy's Stamp Gang, and we've got two of them that I'm using today in this month's color kit. This yellow color here that I just used first is from this month, and it's a flat magical, which means it's not shimmery, it's just a flat color. It's called Summer Lovin' Sun. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the fuzzy navel peach. I think we got that, oh man, we've been getting Lindy's for the past, 4 months, I think? I can't remember. It's either last month or the month before. I've got all of them right here on my desk because they all work so well together from kit to kit each month. I really love this deep pink color here. We get this month as well, and it's called Hottie Patati Hot Pink. I love pinks, oranges, and yellows for tropical pages, especially when I have a lot of blue in my photo. I feel like these colors just complement it really well. And so I'm just kind of adding the powder onto the paper and then adding water to mix it up. And the cool thing about these powders is when you add water and they start to spread, you can actually see other colors in the powders. It's really, really cool. You'll see like little streaks of pink in the yellow. It's really, really pretty. And you can kind of see here where I have gesso. You see how the color is running and blending, and then you see right above the yellow, and then where I had that little water drip, that is what's happening where there's no gesso. The water just soaks right through this paper. But now that I've got all this gesso on the rest of the page here, you can kind of see that the water is not soaking through. The color is staying on top of the paper, and it's able to run and blend and smudge. And that's the difference in using gesso and not using gesso. Get a lot of questions, you know, why do you use gesso? Do you have to use gesso? And you definitely don't, but I'm finding, since I'm adding a lot of water to this paper, it's definitely warping because it's very thin, and I wound up adding way too much liquid for this type of paper, but in the end it all dries okay. I just had to be careful. Now these are shimmers. We've got shimmers for a long time in color kits, and I have them all, and I pull them out whenever a certain color matches something that we're using. I can't even remember what month these came in, but they have been in color kits. This yellow is called Mustard Seed, and I'm almost out of it. I love it. So, so pretty and shimmery. And then that dark pink color is called Pink Stilettos. And yeah, if you go back on the website and backtrack all the color kits, that pink color may have been a few years ago. I can't remember, but I love it. So nice and dark and bold. And I'm just kind of adding the color, tilting the paper, and the more layers of these colors you add, you know, the darker it's going to get, the bolder it's going to get. And, you know, if you let it dry and then add more color on top of it, it's going to get even better. So it just depends on what color you want and how dark you want it. And it always tends to dry a little bit lighter. All right, so you can kind of see how the background is there. I did let that dry for a while, and I put some heavy paper pads on top of it to kind of flatten it out, because it definitely did warp, and that's okay because it can always be flattened out. All right, so now I'm going to work on layering. I'm adding a piece of polka dotted paper behind the photo. That is from the Vicki Boutin. It's the back side of that paper with all the pretty sky and clouds on it. I added a piece of a Pocket Life card that was torn, or I used the other half of it on another page. And then I'm going to come back in with all the flowers, the bird, the leaves. Now, if you see that big round leaf die cut that I've got stuck in there, I'm going to wind up cutting off all the white. You see how it just sort of stands out? I don't know, it was distracting me. I went on a rampage here with all the die cuts and fussy cut off all of the white borders. I don't know why it bugs me, but I feel like, I guess when the background is not white, the white border just sort of stands out like a sore thumb. And you'll see the difference here in a minute when I cut this off. And that's just a preference, not a big deal. See the difference there? It blends in a little bit more. It doesn't just stand out as much, if that makes sense. So yeah, I fussy cut, let's see, I wind up cutting the white border off of some flowers later on. So I wanted to incorporate, I noticed in the relax word there, the E is lime green, and I thought that lime green would be a pretty accent color for this, and so I pulled out my thread to add a little bit of the lime green over to the right underneath the bird. And I want the bird positioned to where it looks like he's standing on top of that aqua strip, because, you know, he's got feet, he needs to be standing on something. And then the June was, like I said, I never scrap, well, and I say never, but I hardly ever scrap photos that were taken in the actual month that we're using. And so we always get a Pocket Life card with the month on it. And this just so happens that I took this photo in June. And so I thought, ooh, I'm going to use that as part of my title, because it never seems to work out that way. But so yeah, I'm going to use that, and I love that it's got some tropical flowers attached to it, because that's perfect. Now I am going to add some adhesive foam underneath those flowers down at the bottom to give them some dimension, because the photo's raised up, and therefore Weekend Vibes is going to be raised up, and so I wanted some more things to be raised up. I'm going to go through this Heidi Swapp sticker book. I'm going to add that little sticker that I just stuck there behind the top of the photo. It says details. I could just thumb through this sticker all day, every day, and every time I look through it, I see something that I missed the previous time because there's so many stickers and they're so cute. This is another fun little sticker here. I'm going to put it on some, I think that's piece of a pocket life card, just to make this more of an embellishment, a little sturdier than just a flimsy sticker. It says time for adventure, and it's got some gold foil on it. And I like that little pop of pink right there. And then I'm going to use another bird, actually 2 more birds. And here's another instance of me cutting off the white border, and it's so thin it kept sticking to my fingers, but you see the difference there. I know my light's kind of shining on that bird on the right, but I added the one on the right by the big bird and then the one on the left. I felt like the one on the left looked cute by the word relax. It looks like he's standing on a branch. And then I went for some more thread. I'm going to add in some aqua thread that was giving me grief because it wouldn't tuck under there like I wanted it to, so I'll have to come back and mess with that later. And then I'm going to stick some down under here. Now I had to kind of really force it in there because I'd already glued that area down, and but I make it work. And then here's another piece of lime green. I thought, oh, that's lime green. I'm going to use that. It says happy place. And then I'm going to add a butterfly, which I will cut off the white border. And then I wanted to add a pop of yellow down on the bottom, but this flower was a kind of a different style flower with the green leaves, so I'm just going to cut the leaves off. You know, back in the day, I would never have thought of hacking up a sticker, but now I'm not afraid to do that. You know me. I'm not afraid to hack up a die cut, hack up a sticker. If you only want a piece of it, then cut off all you need and save the rest for something else. Because I just cut off the leaves. I can always cut the leaves and then stick them under another flower later if I need that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to add a couple butterflies. Well, one right now, but I felt like the top was kind of open with nothing, so I'm going to add a little cluster up there. So I just kind of cut a crooked little wonky area off the top, and then I'm going to layer in a piece of this aqua paper behind it. And of course, I stick it on crooked, so I'm going to have to cut it off to make it even. I feel like it's been a while since I've made a little cluster. But when the bulk of everything is down below, I want to add a little something something up to the top. Not a lot that's going to distract or take away. But now my dilemma is flowers. And these 2 flowers are the only ones I have left, and they're huge. And I definitely don't want anything huge up there. So I'm going to go back to that Simple Stories paper, fussy cut out some more of those little hibiscus flowers. And then here I go again. I know, I really did not want to hack this sticker up, but I'm going to cut the leaves off and then pop this little cluster up. So I've got some orange and some pink, and then that corally peachy color up there. I'm going to bring in the leaves, well, some leaves, and then I'm going to come back with the leaves that I actually just cut off and use those in a different way. To add in some yellow, I'm going to add in this little Good Vibes sticker. And here are the leaves. I just cut those off of that little orange and pink flower cluster, and this is an instance of you can still use the leaves, just they're not attached. I felt like I needed something lime green because I've got little pops of lime green down on the bottom. So I used this sticker at first, and I love the sticker, but once I stick it down, it doesn't look right. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. And I need, let's see, what am I doing? Yellow. I wanted another pop of yellow, so that's where the thread comes in, over to the right. And I really like that. So I'm going to glue all this down. So some of that's popped up, some of it's flat. But I want to make sure it's all glued down. I like to have all the colors in the bottom kind of up in the cluster. So I stick this sticker here, and I like the sticker, but it just kind of felt out of place. I don't know, it just was sticking down there. So I wind up removing it, and then I just stick in one of the Vicky Bouton lime green leaves up at the top, and then I add in a little yellow butterfly and call it a day. I do add in some lines for journaling right underneath the title. So my title's just kind of June weekend vibes. But yeah, I add the date, and I do add some splatters, and that's it. I love how this turned out. I love all the colors. I love tropical pages. Oh, I love me some pull photos, and all these colors just are my favorite. It's so hard to pick, and I'm not doing a great job of narrowing down color schemes this month because on all 3 of my pages so far, I've used all the colors. And I'll probably continue to do that because they're all gorgeous. They all work together, and there's just so many colors. I can't pick. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really love it. Let me know if you have any questions about the kits or the techniques or anything that I did today. I'll be more than happy to answer you. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.